His love is flowing freely, children hand in hand. Take me to the doorway, lead me to the land, where Father's love is flowing freely, children hand in hand. Take me to the doorway, lead me to the land, where Father's love is flowing freely, children hand in hand. Take me to the doorway, lead me to the land, where Father's love is flowing freely, children hand in hand. Shining above, lighting my day, shadow way. Oh, light of grace, easing my pain, you have shone and gone. I'll give my life and my love unto the one God of love. Though clouds may come, hiding His face, hiding the smile of my God. Though clouds may come, still He is there, shining brightly. God is love. I'll give my life and my love unto the one God of love. Amid the storm, tossed on the sea, beacon of hope, guiding me. Amid the storm, shelter is near. Trust in Him, for God is love. I'll give my life and my love unto the one to the one God of love.
One Corinthians chapter 13:13. These three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. From True Parents, Blessed Couples Conference. Jesus said a lot of symbolic things which are true. Jesus said, for example, "Where is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is in the midst of you." This is a great statement, but people were still confused by "in the midst of me." What is the meaning of "in the midst of me"? There was no answer. It stopped there. However, for us, True Father has spelled it out completely. True love is God's quality. Wherever true love dwells, God dwells. Wherever God dwells, true love dwells. Wherever God dwells, there is true love. So, when you become the professor of true love, you become the palace of true love. There God dwells, so the kingdom of heaven is within you.
So as my wife pointed out, a possessor of true love is a professor of true love. And we read the very famous passage from 1 Corinthians. These three remain: faith, hope, and love. The greatest of these is love. And my point is that what you believe is important. What you think makes a big difference in the way your life will play out and the things that you do. Because faith, hope, and love have been the staples of Christian history. Christianity is built on faith, hope, and love. Okay, what is faith? We like to use words, but what is faith? St. Paul gave us a definition of faith. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the convictions of things we cannot see. The things hoped for. What is hope? What is hope? I couldn't find a definition of hope in the Bible, so I looked in the dictionary. What is hope? Hope is a feeling that what is wanted may happen. What is wanted may happen. Well, it may not happen also, but hope is a feeling that what is wanted may happen. Hope is a vision of something better. We always have, when we have hope, hope can sustain us. We wait for something better to come, an improvement on our circumstances. We may be in a prison of war, but if we have hope, we can survive. People have survived prison of war by having hope and being rescued and having faith in God. But faith and hope are not here. We don't have faith. What we believe, we don't have. What we hope for, we don't have. What is love? St. Paul again famously said, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. There's the word hope again. Our relationship with God has been one of faith, hope, and love. Always there's been somebody, we call in principle the able person, that has had faith in God, a believer who's able to lead people, who shows us the way. But if we want to be realistic, our beliefs have never been enough to make God our everyday reality. We love God, we have faith in God, we hope God will be with us. But what is faith? Faith is the assurance of something we don't have. The conviction of something we don't have that will happen. By its own definition, faith is not concrete reality. Faith looks forward to another day, a better place, a better day. What about hope? Paul said, but hope that is seen is no hope at all. Who hopes for what they already have? If I have $1 million, I don't hope I'm going to have $1 million. I don't need to hope for $1 million anymore. I already have my money. Who hopes for what they already have? The fact that people have faith and hope shows us that the relationship with God is still conceptual. What's the problem with the world? One of the big problems with the world is that people of faith still commit sins. People who believe in God commit sins. Very hard to testify to God when I'm a sinner myself. Why do people commit sins? Because their faith in God has been mostly conceptual. That's the reality of the world we live in. A world of faith and hope, yearning for something better. But divine principle is different. Reverend Moon is different. Because of the fall, we all know, human beings have had no real relationship with God. Throughout history, we spoke of God through faith and hope and love. But I remember when I was younger, I remember listening to Father give sermons back in the 70s. And I would be listening to Father, and it was just amazing. It was just how easy it was to feel that God is real. In Father's presence, how much God seemed like a concrete reality. Father was different. For Father, God was a concrete reality, like a mathematical theorem, beyond proof, but always true. Father had that relationship. Father had that. He didn't hope for it. He didn't believe in God. It was there with him. And I would be there, and if Father had that feeling and Father had that relationship, that was something that was there for me too. It could happen to me too. So in the 40 years that I've been here, I found out that Reverend Moon found the shortcut to God, the quickest and most direct way to an intense and real experience of God. What is that? Something Father talks about all the time because he wants us to do it. What's that? Nope, all these things are built on a certain foundation. The fundamental thing that Father taught us, mind-body unity, that's the foundation of everything that Father talks about. Mind-body unity. Okay, mind-body unity. Well, I wonder what that looks like. What exactly does that mean? What does that mean, mind-body unity? Well, divine principle teaches us that mind-body unity is manifested but through God's and God's nature. And it's manifested as being eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, and divine. That's the way divine principle describe God. Eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, and divine. Not a God of faith and hope and love, but those attributes that we can understand God. So to experience God concretely, we have to mirror his qualities. We talk in divine principle, we talk about a common base, give and take. To have give and take, you have to have a common base, right? Divine principle talk about a common base. You have give and take with something at your own level. It's common base. To experience God concretely, we have to mirror his qualities. The more we, ourselves, develop our character as eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, and divine, the more we will naturally and normally experience God as a living reality in our lives. It'll just be there. God will just be there. Do you want to experience God as your everyday reality? Like breathing air, going to the bathroom? Who breathes air every day? Who goes to the bathroom every day? Is that real for you? Is it a big deal for you? Who has God in his life every day? It should not be a big deal to have God in our lives every day. But we can do it. How do we do it? By becoming eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, divine. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have God in your life every day? Do you talk to God? Would you talk to God? Would God talk to you? Have you ever wondered, did God talk to Reverend Moon? What do you think? Does God talk to Reverend Moon? You think so? Let's read the book. What does the book say? Father wrote a lot of things in this book. Page 351. In the section on the Renaissance. You got to read the whole book. A person of perfect character understands the will of God and puts it into practice through his own insight and reason, without the need to rely on revelations from God. What? God doesn't tell me what to do? God doesn't tell Reverend Moon what to do? If my character is eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, and divine, God doesn't need to tell me what to do. I know what to do. What I do is the right thing. Because that's just who I am. I decide what's the right thing. I decide what the right thing to do is, through my own insight and my own reason. I am the center of the cosmos. Father said he is due north to the universe. I should be due north to the universe. Divine Principle said the reason why people believe in God continue to commit sins is because their faith in God has been merely conceptual. It has not touched their innermost being. Who among them would ever dare to commit sin if they experienced God in the depths of their being? Yeah, me too. I want that experience myself. Having faith, having hope, having love has not been enough to change the fallen world. The fastest way to change the world, the fastest way to change your world, is to attain a character that is eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, and divine. Father recognized that the way to become eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine is through uniting your mind and body. We know that that's the struggle. The quickest way to this character is through uniting your mind and body. On the other hand, the quickest way to get out of being godlike is through your mind and body, the unity of your mind and body, not having unity of mind and body. And Father pushed us. He wanted us to unite our mind and body. But before he pushed us, of course, he pushed himself. He drove himself. There's so many things to read about his life. But he pushed himself hard. And he said, I cannot teach this principle unless I reach the standard of having practiced it and fulfilled it myself. Then he pushed us to be that way, to be eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, divine. We can see people who know God through faith and hope have struggled in the hard reality of the fallen world. It's hard to be on God's side when you're out there. It's very hard, especially when right here in front of me is so much evil, so much problems, such a mess. And somewhere over there, somewhere, God is there. And I can get God closer to me, I hope, someday. I believe he'll come. I believe God will come. It's hard to be in this fallen world. There's people who know that God is eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine. It's hard to be on God's side in this fallen world, even when you're like that. Honestly speaking, I feel short. Of course, I'm up here, but I feel short of God's standard. I feel short of God's standard right now. But I'm not standing here thinking, I hope God will save me. I have faith that God will rescue me and God will take care of me. I don't think that way. I'm standing here because I'm standing here thinking, I am eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine. And sometimes when I stumble, when I come up short, I pick myself up and I start going again in the right direction, because that's what it means to be eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine. So where did that idea come from? That's right, true parents. Think about how many speeches, if you read Father's speeches, how many speeches he begin by saying, God is eternal and unchanging. God's will is also eternal and unchanging. Hundreds of speeches began with that statement. God is eternal and unchanging. God's will is eternal and unchanging. But think about history. How many times in history has God's will been frustrated? God's eternal, unchanging will not brought to fruition. Principle tells us millions of times. And how many times did God say, okay, and just start again? Every single time. Because that's what it means to be eternal and unchanging. To keep going, to do it and keep doing it, and to fail and to keep doing the right thing no matter what. So if God is unchanging and God's will is unchanging, what about me? I should be eternal and unchanging also. This is the oldest idea in the Bible. God created man in his own image. From day one, this has been God's vision. In the world of faith and hope, however, God's image is seen dimly, as in a mirror, because we don't have, we hope for what we don't have. We believe in what we don't have. We don't have God's image. We can't see God. But in the world of eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine, God's image is crystal clear for us. That's our great benefit. So when I read Father's words, I am not in the age of faith and hope anymore. I am in the age of eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine. It's such a simple idea, but it takes the burden of human perfection off of God's shoulders and puts it squarely on my shoulders where it belongs. Human perfection is my perfection, and it is my responsibility. So when we understand ourselves as being eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine, does it change our behavior? It does. Last week, Reverend Sykes was up here, and he talked about the value of blessed marriages. He was praising blessed marriages. So let's look at blessed marriages and worldly marriages. When people get married, they hope that this is the right girl. They hope they found the right girl. They believe she's the right girl. They believe they're going to be happy for the rest of their lives. They love this girl. That's why they get married. Faith, hope, and love. But what is hope? Hope is a feeling that what is wanted may happen. It may not happen. What is faith? The assurance of something that is not seen. The assurance of something we don't have. And we know that most marriages don't work out well. They are not successful. Their faith and their hope and their love are not realized. Now let's look at the same situation in light of the principle. When I met my wife, I did not hope that through faith in God, we could build an ideal family. I'm not supposed to say that, right? I'm supposed to be more, well, I need longer hair, but whatever. I did not hope that through faith in God, we could build an ideal family. For those of you who don't know, when I met my wife, we were matched by Reverend Moon, and we got married the same day we met each other. So that's how we start. So when I met my wife, I made a commitment that I would be with her eternally. Eternal and changing. All right. Did I pledge that to God? No. This is a speech Reverend Moon gave. You must know how miserable and how unhappy God is and how grieved God is after having been betrayed by so many people right at the start of human history, and he is desperate to find true persons. Have you ever imagined that? There was a long history of God having been deceived by the people, betrayed by the people, with much sadness and grief in his heart. You say you are believable and trustworthy. Compared to the accumulated grief of God and the joy you are returning to him, are you confident to have God trust you? I hesitate to make promises to God. So, did I pledge that to my wife? Ask her. I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure I didn't do that. Did I pledge that to myself? Yes. I made a commitment that I would love her unchangingly, no matter how many changes I went through. I had no idea I was getting into there. I made a commitment that I would love her uniquely. What does that mean? Only her. Our relationship is unique because it's me and her. That's a specific relationship that cannot be duplicated by anybody else. I would love her uniquely for the rest of my life. I made a commitment that I would love her divinely, which means what? Like God. I would love her like God. I made a commitment that I would love her cosmically. Well, I'm working on that one. Okay. Because that is who I am. Or at least that's who I want to be. I want to be what? Eternal. Unchanging. Unique. Come on. Cosmic. Divine. That's who if I am or I am not, doesn't matter. That's what I'm going to do. How did that work out? God, this is a smart crowd here. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes it worked out, okay. Sometimes not so much. Don't make a big deal about it. And so, I got to thinking, well, what is the most important thing in our relationship? What is the most important thing that we have? What is the most important thing I can ask of my wife? What is the most important thing I can ask of my wife? I went through the different things, and I came to the conclusion, there's only one thing that I can ask of my wife. I can ask her to stay here with me forever. That's what I can ask of her. That's the only thing I can ask. I can't ask her to be compatible with me. That might be ugly. I can't even ask her to like me. I can't ask her to love me. There's no guarantee there. But I can ask her to be with me forever. To be with me forever. What is love? Who knows? But stay with me forever, and we'll work that out. I can't ask her to have a pretty face. If she does, that's a bonus. I can't ask her to be sexy. If she is, that's a bonus. I can't ask her to be a great cook. If she is, that's a bonus. I can't ask her to have a lot of money. If she does, that's a real bonus. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Right? I can't even ask her to like me. If she does, that's a bonus. Young people, pay attention. You need to know this. But I can ask her to stay here forever, to be here today and tomorrow and every other day. Give me that. Because if she stays forever, I have everything I need. I didn't say I have everything I want. I said I have everything I need. Human beings are born for love. We're born from love. We're born for love. We're designed for love. We don't have sharp claws on our hands, so we can touch each other with love and gently with love. We don't have big teeth, so we can kiss each other and be happy. Our bodies are not covered by fur, so we can touch each other's skin and get excited, stimulated, and experience love. We are born, we are fully designed only for love. We are fulfilled only in love. But love needs its object. So, to be fulfilled, to have everything you need somebody to love. Of course, God knows we need to eat, we need to drink, we need clothes and stuff like that. But he knows that, and the Gentiles chase after these things. And God said, don't chase those things. I know you need them. Seek ye first God's kingdom and his righteousness. What is God's kingdom and what is God's righteousness? God's kingdom is, of course, the family. No other organization or institution was created by God except the family. Seek ye first God's kingdom and his righteousness, and all those things will be added unto you. For those of you who haven't done that yet, let me tell you, it works. It worked for Reverend Moon, and it worked for me. And I can testify to that because I did that. Very few people in this world have done what we did who joined Unification Church. But we got exactly what God promised. We got it if we did our thing. God is eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, divine. And true love is eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, divine. My love should be eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, divine. What's the definition of love? Who knows the definition of love? What? What is this, psychology class? Absolutely not. What is the definition of love? When two become one. That's the definition of love. Don't let any fool tell you something different. That covers everything. If we stay together forever, we will eventually work out how to become one. If you have one boss, if you have a job that you can't quit, no matter how much you want to, and your boss will never die, so you have one boss for the rest of your life, you will eventually figure out how to work together. If you have one wife for the rest of your life, for all your life, you will eventually figure out how to love each other. Right? That's right. We read Father's words so we become unselfish. Just become a little unselfish, you solve all your problems, young people. Every single problem you could possibly have is solved. If you have one God forever, you will eventually figure out how to be with that God. God is eternal. God's will is eternal. When True Father matched me with Noriko, my eternity began. The moment I said yes, began eternity for me. The moment I said yes to true Father in God's position, I changed. Because my blood lineage changed right there. I became connected to my object. I created a subject-object relationship. Whatever I was before is something different now. From that moment, I said yes, as long as I am what? Eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, divine. We were not one. We had to struggle through many things. Actually, she had to struggle through many things. I had to struggle through a few things. She had to struggle through many things before we became one. You know, maybe we're not even one yet. It's okay, but maybe it's going to get a lot better. I don't know how good it's going to get. How should I know? Love is not stagnant. I am not the same person that said yes to Father 38 years ago, whatever the hell it was. I'm not the same person, and she's not either. We become different people, but we're connected forever. And it just gets better. So I don't know who I'm going to be 10 years from now, but it should be better. I don't know who I'm going to be 2,000 years from now, but it should be better. What do we know about, what kind of development is available to us in spirit? What a million years from now, I don't know who I'll be, but it should be better. So it just gets better. Because if she stays forever, I have everything I need. So to me, that's what a blessed marriage is. And what about God? For God, it is exactly the same. He needs an object that is eternal, unchanging, cosmic, unique, and divine. Like me. Like you. Brothers and sisters, the coming of the age of true parents has ended the era of faith and hope and love. It has ended the era when we see dimly as in a mirror. Thanks to true parents, we know concretely that the kingdom of heaven is within us. The kingdom of heaven appears when we unite our mind and body, when we take on God's attributes of eternal, unchanging, unique, cosmic, and divine as our own attributes. So I'd like to conclude with a quote from Divine Principle. In every corner of the world, countless souls who had been groping in the darkness are receiving the light of this new truth and are being reborn. As we witness this, we cannot stop shedding tears of deepest inspiration. We desire from the bottom of our hearts that its light quickly fills the earth. Thank you all. God bless you. Yeah.